The Taliban has taken over the presidential palace in the Afghan capital, Kabul.
On 15th August 2021, the Taliban entered Afghanistan's capital city of Kabul and took control of the country. Over the past 12 months, human rights violations against women and girls have mounted steadily. Girls aren't allowed to be educated, and the Taliban has barred women from working outside the home. The Taliban has systematically excluded women and girls from public life. In 2019, 36% of teachers in the country were women, the highest number in 20 years. But the Taliban's ban on education for girls forced many female educators out of work. One of those women continued teaching despite threats and violence, but she faced consequences for it.
I wanted to serve my country as a teacher. I wanted to do this for the women. People were warning us against the Taliban. They were telling us to be careful, not to do these things. They said, don't go to school, don't teach others, And then one night I went to my mom's house and my husband was alone at the house. So 2 people came to our house and killed my husband.
Taliban prompted her to flee the country and she moved to India in 2016. Being financially strained, starting a new life didn't come easy. But it gave her hope for her daughter's future, who could now rejoin school. Her daughter studies at the Bridges Academy in Delhi. The school is educating Afghan refugee girls, something that wouldn't be allowed under Taliban rule in their home country. In a residential neighborhood, the school operates out of a small space in Lajpat Nagar and has 72 students, half of which are girls.
The first thing they experience is the peace, and the second thing they experience is the freedom. And the third thing what they say is that the girls are able to get educated here.
Female education is a sensitive issue for the Taliban. The basic right to education is forbidden for women. For Afghan girls, parting from their homeland is hard, but they are thankful to be back in a classroom.
At the Bridges Academy, everything is in English, so that is a good thing. But back in Afghanistan, I couldn't even go to school every day. Here I go to school every day. We had to wear hijab and we were forced to cover our hair. I had a best friend back in Afghanistan, so I miss her so much. I also miss the time that I spent with my family in Afghanistan.
The school caters to refugee families who aren't financially sound. It only charges half the fees from students and the other half is arranged through sponsors, NGOs and goodwill efforts. The teachers are trained in basics of trauma counseling so they can deal with students who have had a difficult past. Masi passed out of Bridges Academy. His sisters are now studying there too.
There were my friends who were girls, my classmates, so they couldn't continue their education because of the family issues. So some of their families used to believe till 6th grade, 7th grade, that's enough. After that they should have to stay in home. Well, I'm really grateful that my sister, both of them were in school. My younger sister, she is in Bridges Academy. She's studying really well. So I think that if she was in Afghanistan, she wouldn't have that opportunity.
Restrictions on women continue to escalate in Afghanistan. As the UN puts it, decades of progress on gender equality and women's rights have been wiped out in mere months. The story of this women teacher's escape is of hope and resilience. But there are still many whose lives are languishing under the Taliban regime.